The National Police Minister, Becky Kay, will also be arriving to attend the appearance of Nafiz Modack and the three others. Now, you must remember that the allegation is that Nafiz Modack is alleged to be the top underworld gang boss. Nafiz Modack, along with 14 co-accused, faces 124 charges, including several high-profile murders. Among these is the assassination of anti-gang unit detective Charl Kinnear, who was killed in front of his home in Bishop Lavis in September 2020. Investigators allege that Modack orchestrated this hit as part of a larger effort to eliminate law enforcement figures hindering his operations. The group is also charged with the murder of Nicholas Hairshop, a 74-year-old pensioner outside his embossed TR home in July 2019. This attack was reportedly a case of mistaken identity, as the intended target was Hairshop's son, a former Hawks officer. Modack's charges include the attempted assassination of high-profile criminal attorney William Booth, who was targeted in a shooting outside his Higale residence in 2020. The trial has revealed intricate details of these plots, including testimonies from state witnesses who admitted their roles in Modack's criminal network. These witnesses exposed how Modack allegedly coordinated and financed these attacks. The ongoing trial has seen over 40 state witnesses testify, offering detailed accounts of the group's operations, including links to Capetown's notorious terrible West Siders gang. This testimony has painted a picture of a tightly coordinated criminal enterprise blending gang activities with business ventures. To understand why this trial is so significant, we first need to understand who Nafiz Modack is. Known as a controversial figure in Capetown's crime scene, Modack's influence stretches across extortion syndicates, the nightclub industry, and alleged ties to political figures. His rise to infamy has been as rapid as it has been ruthless. Welcome to Timeless History with Oj. If today is your first time coming across this channel, kindly like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this video. Modack isn't your average criminal figure. His name has been tied to high-profile assassinations, extortion schemes, and even allegations of bribery involving police officials. But now, the man who once seemed untouchable is facing the fight of his life in a courtroom. The question is, how did we get here? To understand the magnitude of Nafiz Modack's ongoing trial, we need to go back to where it all began, Capetown's notorious underworld. Modack's rise wasn't by accident. He entered the scene during one of the city's most chaotic periods, when gang wars and extortion syndicates ruled the streets and the nightlife industry became a battleground for power. Modack quickly made a name for himself. Known for his calculated moves and alleged willingness to use violence, he gained control over lucrative protection rackets targeting businesses, nightclubs, and even private property owners. It's alleged that Modack built an empire by forcing these establishments to pay for his protection, of course, from the very threats his network created. But Modack's reach didn't stop there. Over time, he expanded his operations, allegedly infiltrating the security industry and forming alliances with key players in the Cape Flats, an area long plagued by gang activity. His name became synonymous with fear, power, and control. And yet, with all his alleged influence, Modack's rise didn't come without resistance. Rival gangs, law enforcement, and even political figures started to push back. The result? A trail of blood, broken alliances, and criminal cases that would eventually lead to his downfall, or so it seems. The relationship between Nafiz Modack and Charl Kinnear was primarily antagonistic, driven by Kinnear's efforts to dismantle Modack's alleged criminal empire. Kinnear, a prominent detective in the anti-gang unit, was deeply involved in investigating and combating gang-related activities, including those linked to Modack. Modack, who is accused of orchestrating various criminal operations in Capetown, allegedly saw Kinnear as a significant threat to his operations. Kinnear had been vocal about his efforts to expose Modack's network, particularly regarding the gangster's involvement in extortion and money laundering. This made Kinnear a target. The murder, carried out outside Kinnear's home in September 2020, was suspected to be a hit ordered by Modack or those close to him. According to some testimonies, Modack was directly involved in orchestrating the murder to silence Kinnear and prevent him from further disrupting his criminal enterprises. Modack's extensive network, allegedly including corrupt law enforcement and business figures, may have further facilitated such a hit. Kinnear's role in investigating the very activities Modack relied on for his wealth and power likely made him one of Modack's most dangerous enemies. Nafiz Modack, along with 14 co-accused, faces 124 charges, including several high-profile murders. CCTV footage from around Kinnear's home captured the chilling moments before and after his death. A hooded figure can be seen waiting for Kinnear to arrive home. As his car slows to enter the driveway, the figure swiftly approaches, fires several shots through the car window, and then disappears. This brutal act, carried out in broad daylight, would set the stage for the eventual takedown of one of South Africa's most feared criminals. The murder of Kinnear was no random act of violence. He had been investigating Modack's criminal empire for years, and this assassination was a targeted attempt to silence him. The investigation that followed the murder quickly led to a major breakthrough. Charl Kinnear, a former professional rugby player turned private investigator, was arrested in Springs near Johannesburg. Kinnear was accused of using his tracking business to monitor Kinnear's movements for months leading up to the day of his assassination. Kinnear's phone had been pinged repeatedly by Kinnear's equipment. The phone was being monitored every day. Kinnear initially denied any connection to Modack, claiming that he had been hired by a man named Mohammed Brown. However, further investigation uncovered a critical piece of evidence. A BMW registered to Modack was found in Kinnear's possession, which exposed his lies. After Kinnear's failed bail applications and mounting evidence against him, the police moved to arrest Modack in April 2021. A dramatic car chase in the Milnerton area of Capetown led to his capture along with an associate. Modack was taken into custody, marking the beginning of one of South Africa's most significant organized crime trials. Modack was referred to as accused number 1 in the indictment, which revealed the depth of his involvement in organized crime. However, Charl Kinnear's assassination was merely a chapter in a much longer investigation that began back in 2017, when Kinnear first started looking into Modack's criminal activities. Kinnear's relentless pursuit of justice made him a thorn in Modack's side, and over the years, there were multiple attempts on his life before the successful hit in 2020. Modack's arrest marked a turning point, but it also exposed the complex web within his criminal network. To truly grasp the gravity of this case, we must look back at earlier events. On October 30, 2018, advocate Pete Mihalik, a well-known lawyer who represented Modack, was shot dead while dropping his children off at school in Greenpoint. The attack, which injured his 9-year-old son, sent shockwaves through Capetown. Kinnear led the investigation into Mihalik's murder, uncovering connections between the hit and Modack's associates. Then, in April 2020, another lawyer, William Booth, survived an assassination attempt outside his home in Bishop's Court. Booth was ambushed by 2 men who fired shots at him after he had just walked his dogs. Fortunately, Booth escaped unharmed, but investigations revealed that Modack had orchestrated the attack as retaliation for Mihalik's death, which he believed was ordered by rival crime boss Jerome Boyson. Further investigation implicated Charl Kinnear, who had been tracking Booth's phone for months prior to the failed hit. This cycle of violence seemed endless, with Modack using violence and intimidation to tighten his grip on Capetown's criminal underworld. The National Police Minister, Becky Cele, also arrived to attend the appearance of Nafiz Modack. The allegation is that Nafiz Modack is alleged to be the top underworld gang boss. Nafiz Modack, along with 14 co-accused, faces 124 charges, including several high-profile murders. Among these is the assassination of anti-gang unit detective Charl Kinnear, who was killed in front of his home in Bishop Lavis in September 2020. Investigators allege that Modack orchestrated this hit as part of a larger effort to eliminate law enforcement figures hindering his operations.